Hey, beautiful seekers of the universe. Welcome to the channel, to the existential shift. If you're new, my name is Morgainne. This will be a shift talk about the North Node moving into Pisces. It's going to be there for the next 18 months, while the South Node naturally will be across from it in Virgo. Also, for the next 18 months, it happens like a dial. Okay. Um, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. And a lot of people confuse Aquarius to be in rulership of aliens, space. It's actually Pisces. Pisces rules the broader frequencies. Well, it's debatable between Pisces and Aquarius, but especially considering higher dimensions, space, divine energies, gods. So anything that is ethereal and not of this physical realm, aka the opposite of what represents reality, which we all know to be Virgo. So the North Node is like the North Compass, where we are headed as a collective. So as a collective, we are guided towards the energies of Pisces, and the South Node represents the energies that we're moving away from slash integrating. This is not just letting go. Okay. The North Node is not just going towards, it's also learning. And the South Node is not just letting go of, it's also integrating some aspect of the South Node, aka Virgo in this case, that represents reality, are going to be let go of and released. And some aspect will be modified into an integrated version, integrated with the energy of Pisces, and maintained and utilized properly. Virgo is also the sign of the healer, right? Of medicine women, of plant medicine, of herbs. So it's not that we're moving away from these things. These things, Pisces is the energy of healing, and Virgo is the way you go about it in this realm. Does that make sense? So we're not exactly moving away from everything that is Virgo. We're not exactly moving into everything that is Pisces. But generally speaking, the head is thinking Pisces, the tail is wagging Virgo. Because the North Node, if you're not familiar, if you're new, is the head of the dragon, aka Rahu. And the South Node is the tail of the dragon, aka Ketu. So why did I start with mentioning that Pisces is actually the ruler of ETs, aliens, and the likes? Because we're really heading towards, and this is already, I'm not going to surprise many of you. And those of you that I'll be surprising, you probably had your head in the sand. This has already reached mainstream media. So that is very, very meaningful. The alien encounter with higher frequencies, broader frequencies of extraterrestrial advanced societies is going to really come into the forefront. And in the next 18 months, I know, but again, I'm not special in that way. I think a lot of people will say this. This is where we're heading. We're already there. So this is what is going to continue to unfold and evolve. And I think I can't say this for sure. This is a guess, an educated guess. But by the time the South Node leaves Virgo, it's going to give us a gift, a reality gift, right? And that gift would be, it will already embedded in our day-to-day reality somehow. It will be given. We've somehow processed it. It's not going to be a complete shocker at that point. And I think it's interesting because 18 months is not a long time. And it's kind of aligning with the whole things are accelerating, changes happening faster, things are moving faster, people are expanding and evolving, and so are we as a society a lot faster, and which is why the world looks the way it looks right now. Um, all the shadowy, dark energies, evil and corruption, very condensed layers of existence that have been in our realm for eons, they can no longer handle the frequencies of the planet because the frequency of the planet is raising to match North Node in Pisces. Pisces is divine energy. It's very broad frequency, very ethereal. It's not matter. Okay. And you're like, well, why is space? What about the ocean? Both. The ocean is somewhat of a space, and the up is the down and the down is the up when we think in these terms outside the Newtonian laws of physics or even in the Newtonian laws of physics. So the deeper you dive into the ocean, on the other side, there's the cosmos. And the further you go in the cosmos, on the other side, you're back in the ocean, in the belly of the beast. So things are going to really get themselves into alignment with these higher frequency, and for that more condensed energy that are not in alignment and can't really get into alignment with that are going to be dismantled, released, relieved from the planet by many cases, broken down, um, death and rebirth. Very, very, I think it's going to be a very intense, it has been intense already past few years, but the next 18 months, the acceleration and progress in our human consciousness, and it's not going to feel this way in the next few months for sure, because um, a lot of people are still really unaware of what it is that is unfolding right now. They think what is happening now is bad, when it's actually an exposure and a dismantling of corruption. And the reason they don't see it as a dismantling and exposure of corruption is because they've been aligned or believing or following um, these corrupt either institutions, ideologies, leaders, etc. Now, no one ever follows a corrupt leader and think to themselves, "I'm following a corrupt leader." No, they think they are on team good. Okay, it's a combination of lack of awareness, self-awareness, with societal and external ignorance, where you just don't pay attention. If you have not been paying attention to the details, if you have been falling to captions and rhetorics and narcissistic, come on board your team good kind of stuff, um, then you're not in the know. Good news is that can change. It's a matter of choice. Um, but a lot of people are still really holding on to ideals, ideologies, perceptions that are based in propaganda, that are based in falsities, that are based in corruption. Um, if something has a caption that sounds good and righteous, that doesn't automatically make it good and righteous. You want to look at the content. Don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, I don't understand why it needs to be taught. Like grown ass adults still don't get that very basic idea that just because something proclaims itself to be, uh, I don't know, human rights, justice, those are beautiful, important notions. We love human rights. We love justice when it's true, not when it's used, abused in order to be like a Trojan horse to something else. Um, and a lot of these things, thankfully, are being dismantled. That is the illusion of reality that we had. And it's going to get even more so like that, aka the South Node in Virgo. And the profound, expansive truth that some of us were aware of and some of us were not is going to surprise everyone. And it's going to be a lot bigger than anyone imagines. Um, so even though it's a very painful, difficult process, and it's going to involve suffering, um, you know, going to rehab and quitting an addiction of some sort is very painful when the body, um, goes through um, there's a word for that. If anyone can remind me, where are you guys? Say hello. I can see you in the chat, and I can see the numbers, but I can't see you in the chat. Um, the body goes through a lot of pain because it releases toxins. as it goes through a cleansing process. And so it feels terrible. But because we're already familiar with the process of what happens when you go to rehab and you get clean from an addiction, you know that on the other side of it, there's something a lot better and cleaner. Hello, word from your mother. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. So, if hopefully this will help you feel better about this painful process, there is something better. There is something clearer. There's something cleaner on the other side of it. We are releasing and ejecting toxins, really, really nasty energy that have been kind of, you know, pulling a lot of strings behind the scenes, presenting the reality that was presented was very false. So this is a big aspect of the South Node in Virgo, for example. It's going to break down any false reality, meaning something that presents itself as very real, but it actually has something very different in its essence. Okay, North Node in Pisces brings forth essence without the illusion, without the how it sounds like. This energy does not care about how things sound like. Okay, so if someone goes after an organization that its caption and its headline is "We're for human rights," and they're going after it, they're not going to care if people will gaslight them and be like, "Oh, you don't care about human rights, you're going after da 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 da." They're going to go after it anyway because they know that that organization doesn't actually represent human rights because they care genuinely about human rights from a place of essence. Now, I know what you guys are all thinking about right now. It's not just that, it's not just politics, it's literally in everything. Anything that gave the perception, the show of being righteous and positive while behind the scenes or in essence was actually corrupt, or saying one thing but doing the absolute opposite, it's going to break down. And that's a good thing. I mean, it sucks for anyone who's a part of these things, because it's painful. And this is not, look, most people enact evil from ignorance. So it's going to be also a rude wake-up call for people who have enacted evil to any degree from a place of lack of knowing, from a place of ignorance, or from a place of lack of awareness, combined with narcissistic virtue signaling to themselves and to others. They've been so used to being on team good, they stopped bothering checking themselves, checking their environment, kind of going on auto. You got to always be on point, really looking at what's beneath the surface. And that is what the South Node in Virgo is going to do. It's going to bring up what's beneath the surface. And the North Node in Pisces is going to wash it all off. This includes floods. This includes fires. These natural disasters are kind of a natural side effect to a massive change and shifts of frequencies. Okay, when two very conflicting frequencies are in the same vicinity, it sparks tension, it creates, fire, it creates, um, what's the word, resistance to each other. So you can feel it somehow physically, right? When the earth breaks beneath the sea, it creates a small wave that creates a bigger wave and bigger wave, and then somewhere far, far away, it creates a tsunami. There are repercussions to every shifty, strong movement. And that is part of the elemental world that we live in, of cause and effect, and yes, the Newtonian laws of physics. I might get to the all signs, by the way. I'm going to see how this goes, but I think let's see how I feel and how we are on time. It's very spiritual. It's very truth-based. It's going to break down illusion. Now, the shadow aspect of Pisces is illusion and delusion, but that's because of the shadow aspect of Virgo, which is abusing reality to sorry, abusing reality and modifying it to get, as abuse of power. So then it kind of plays out simultaneously and in parallel through the Piscean energy as the shadow aspect of it as false and deceit. But Pisces in and of itself is divine, is spiritual. Now everything is spiritual, but I mean like the purest, cleanest form of whatever it is. Whatever it is, it just presents itself as this is what it is. It can have layers and depth, but they're not contradicting and deceptive, right? It's not like a wooden table that is actually plastic on the inside, but wood on the outside. It's condensed real wood, right? It is what it shows itself to be in purity. So how is it going to play out for us on an individual level? Whatever layers that are inside of us, mental, emotional, energetic, that are in contradiction to how it is that we present ourselves or presume to be, is going to be yanked out of ourselves. Now, some of it is going to get transmuted into energy of truth and awareness and get utilized by your system as more life force. And some of it is just going to leave because it's just no longer in alignment with the aware aspects of your system. And then you will feel super depleted. You'll feel like you've lost energy. And so you might ask yourself, why am I so tired? Why am I so depleted? Why do I feel like I lost energy? Why am I not manifesting? Because your system is currently going through a major U-Haul of maintaining energies that are in alignment with your dharma, with your higher self, with truth. Hello, Michael from Canada. Welcome. And the energies that are not, some of it will get, I'm repeating myself just to emphasize, some of it will get transmuted and changed, morphed into being more in alignment with your system, and some of it will go away. And the parts that can't handle and are leaving your system, right? So um, this applies to the collective, and this applies on an individual level. The parts that are leaving you, if you're used to having a certain level of energy and aspects are leaving, then or removed, then you feel weaker. But the good news is it makes room for something else to fill. Hold on one second. Give me one moment. It's like whenever I film, people feel the itch to go and do something around where I film and make me feel self-conscious. It's just, hold on. Right. So where was I? Where it's going to get filled up. Try to focus in the next 18 months, but as soon as you can, or certainly as soon as you feel depleted, on things that genuinely bring you joy. If you're not sure where you're at on the ideological, political, belief system spectrum, you don't know, am I right? Am I wrong? Am I whatever? If you're confused, put it aside. I do recommend to follow as many information and news outlets as possible from both sides of the aisle so that you can compare. If you're in an ecosystem, if you're only watching one type of news channel that is leaning only towards one side, you don't know what's going on. And that's just that. Check out both sides in the middle and also independent and also whatever. But don't watch one thing obsessively, one type of thing obsessively, and then tell yourself that you're in the know. You're not in the know. Okay? Everything is going to get confusing, not because things are confused, but because your system is no longer certain it knows how to um, read what's going on. Some people will feel less confident in reading what's going on and analyzing different situations because I don't know who I can trust. I don't know if I can trust myself. That's okay. If that's the case, if that's how you feel, practice, listening and patience and just try to watch across the board. And that way you'll learn how to recognize and compare, which is very, very, very critical. Sorry. Oh, my hair is driving me nuts. And simultaneously, just to go back to what I started saying, do things that make you happy. Simple things. Go back to that hobby. Go back to painting, go back to singing. It doesn't have to be as a profession, it could be just for fun. Do things for the moment that satisfy the present moment. Because another thing that North Node and Pisces is going to do is going to remind us that time is limited to this sphere, but outside of us, it doesn't really exist, and things kind of happen simultaneously in parallel realities, in parallel dimensions. So it's not that the South Node in Virgo breaks down reality per se, it breaks down the illusion of how reality is, and it's going to bring forth a broader understanding, more expanded understanding of what reality is. And for that, you want to be super amiable and super flexible. And the way to handle it emotionally, all this confusion possibly, is by really being in the moment. That even if we can't understand it because we still live in a chronological existence, it's still, when you're focusing on the moment, you're creating a good future, even if it doesn't look like you're doing that. And you're healing a painful past. When you're truly in the vortex, you might want to call it, in the flow, right? In the moment of something that you really enjoy doing that is very simple, you're simultaneously healing painful aspects of the past and creating beautiful aspects of the future to be experienced as what's tomorrow, what's next week, what's next month, chronologically here. It's energy work. Meditate. If you have the habit of meditation, good, continue. If you're not, create that habit. Hi, Crimes Against Art. Welcome. Mm. What else? I'm gonna do all signs. I'm gonna do all signs. I just want to cover everything that comes to my mind. So Pisces is also divine true love. Why? Because it's the highest frequency of love, of oneness consciousness, of we are all one. So it aspires, it's an energy that aspires to bring unions that are based in true love together because it supports the it supports that it supports bringing forth oneness, right? When one small wave connects with another small wave right next to it, it becomes a little larger wave, and then it's able to connect next to it, etc., etc. And then we all realize that we were this one ocean from the beginning, but in order for us to realize it, we have to go through that process. So, um, so I'm going to say something you guys might not like, and that's relationships and connections that are loving, but not necessarily true love, or or let's say there's something else around that is more in alignment, where it used to be like people could compromise or could go with someone that is like halfway there or an almost. Now it's not going to be possible. It's just going to become like sand. Now, I'm speaking in general. Obviously, if you have Pisces, Virgo access, and relationship access, let's say seventh and first house or fifth and 11th house, then it will apply more um, than others, but it still applies collectively. Because it's going to be like a wave. So it's going to start with people who have Pisces and Virgo in seventh and first houses. Let's say Virgo rising or Pisces rising, meaning that you have in your seventh house Virgo or Pisces, but that will reverberate like a domino effect to other signs as well that will follow. So if you're experiencing a breakup, a disconnection, someone tells you they're just not interested anymore, or they're not feeling it anymore, or you're suddenly not feeling it anymore. Don't judge yourself. Um, but simultaneously, there are going to be connections happening that are more in alignment with that. That's awesome. Okay. There's a topic on my mind that I'm wondering if I want to include it in this video or save it for like a separate designated video. Let me think. I just heard regardless tectonic shifts. I don't know if like I think there's going to be a movement of a continent of some sort. I mean, we're always moving, I know, but something very meaningful, maybe a result of an earthquake or something of that sort. But like, like a big chunk of land of an area is going to physically drift or move, and it's going to be because of a nature. I don't want to say disaster, but some natural occurrence. Let's say it at that. Um, Sorry, I'm tapping into something that came up and I want to like process it because it just came through. Major population movement, um, some to do with war, some to do with natural disasters. People are guided, especially with Pluto and Aquarius. Nothing is wrong when it comes to what's going on to people right now. Everything is in alignment. Like people are moved to where they need to be moved to, because it will be more in alignment with where the planet wants to progress to. And obviously, that's not an easy process, right? So I'm not saying anything like in a lighthearted manner. I'm just saying it like it is. Um, Something else, though. Hold on. I'm just really trying to focus on the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. Obviously, there are other things that come to play. Neptune is still in Pisces. That's that's why everything is seemingly so confusing right now, because people's delusions are starting to crumble, and it's a painful process. Um, but then once the North Node reaches Saturn, because Saturn is in Pisces as well. As I'm recording this, Saturn is about to be at 19 degrees Pisces. The North Node is like at 20th, 29th degrees. When it meets, when it conjunct, everything is going to be clear. Whatever was a lie is going to be known to have been a lie this entire time. Whatever has been truth is going to be known to have been truth this entire time. Also, very powerful commitments and allyships and alliances on a global scale and on a personal scale are going to occur. Um, they're going to be based in very profound essence and truth. And so what's happening now, this whole North Node conjunct Neptune thing, it's to, again, I'm repeating myself just in other ways. It's kind of to start dismantling the deceit and the confusion and the delusion. Um, Sorry, this is the part where I'm semi-intellectual, semi-channeling. So I have like these moments of quiet where I kind of process what's coming through. So thank you for being patient. Pluto in Aquarius is coming to my mind, wants to be integrated somehow. I feel like I have when I spoke of like a major population movement. Okay, a lot of immigration that has been occurring in the past few decades, especially in the past few years, has happened so that those who immigrated for, say, from third world countries or countries that are oppressive and are, very drowning in ignorance, let's say, move to, let's say, more Western societies where freedoms are a high value, where human rights are higher values, where equality is higher values. Um, those who were able to align with that and grow into that will be fine. But those who haven't will absolutely be returning to where they came from originally. Now, there are two aspects to that. A, perpetuate the karma that you've created for yourself. You've received an opportunity to expand and you chose to not expand to higher notions, rather try to bring down the higher notions back to lower frequency way of thinking. Um, so just, cause and effect, karma. You deal with the consequences of what it is that you enact. It's very simple, whether you like it or not. Another aspect of it is those who are like in the in between, or potentially there but not entirely there, or kind of in between the worlds, will also go back, but as catalysts for awakening for anyone where they're from that still needs that awakening. You need to understand that you can't just have people from third world countries escape to first world countries, and that's how you save them. That's not how you save them. You save the world by healing the injury. Okay, if let's say an organ is bleeding, you're not going to take all the blood from that organ and put it in another organ that is fine so that it can have fun, right? You're going to give as much tools and medicine, whatever the case may be, for that part of the organ, for the aspects within that organ that is injured. Could be a third world country, for example, or a country that is based in greed and hate and delusion, or in corrupt leadership or corrupt people, even whatever the case may be. You heal it from the inside so that you can save the organ. I mean, what you're going to do? You're going to delete half of Earth's countries? No, you're going to heal those countries and you're going to help them expand to a newer, expanded version of themselves. Um, and you do that by having individuals there with that level of awareness, with that level of knowledge, with the ability to inspire others and or if not inspire them to fight and create change, right? Because if the people are in alignment with their corrupt leadership, if they put that leadership on the pedestal of leadership, then no one's going to change anything. But if the people start to wake up and change their mind and realize that they have been making wrong choices that have been making them suffer, they'll be able to change their own behavior, but also change the leadership and change their environment. So a lot of um, immigration return, like a redo of immigration, is going to be about that energetically and spiritually. And a lot of people are not going to like it because they're stuck in the virtue signaling, narcissistic approach to life is black and white. Um, anyone in a Western country is evil and needs to surrender, and anyone in a third world country is pure and angelic and needs to be. I don't It's like it's the most bizarre way of thinking in the world. People are what they are based on the choices that they make. Now obviously some people have it easier and have a better chance because of better conditions that they receive, but there's always a choice amongst populations that have historically been brainwashed by propaganda to hate and enact some of the worst atrocities in history. There were many who fell to the propaganda, and then there were those who said, no, this is wrong. I see right through it. I choose differently. The truth is always there to see. Just how badly do you want to see it, and how hard are you willing to work on yourself and on understand and on dismantling and analyzing, sorry, the reality in order to get it, right? So I absolutely agree that conditions and you know the environment that you were born into affects us a lot and gives us either an easier path or a harder path. But there's always a choice. You are not a slave to your circumstances. And if we keep teaching people that they are bound to their circumstances, they will never leave their circumstances. You're basically, from a place of allegedly caring for them, imposing the continuance of their suffering. So there needs to be a balance, right? The middle way of acknowledging difficult conditions that people are born to in different places in the world. Some societies are born into extreme poverty and hunger, and some societies are born into extreme brainwash and very terrible influence by their environment. But if instead of teaching them how to fish, you keep giving them fish, they will just come eat your fish and do the same thing. I think one of the delusions of reality that are going to break down in society, especially in the West, is the notion that just give them everything and they'll do fine. The psyche is very powerful. If the subconscious is used to enacting certain way of behavior, It doesn't matter how much money you give them or how much food or how much housing you give, they will continue making the same decisions, the same choices that will bring them back to the same place. You got to give tools, education, not be influenced by any bad education that they brought with them, but inspiring with the good education that you have. And I'm not referring to colonialism. You don't need to go somewhere and enforce, your view or your ideals or your education. But if someone comes to you and says, I need help, okay. If by choice they come to you, to your country, to your household, whatever the case may be. I'm just giving example of immigration. It could be other things. It could be your friend, you know, then there's a way of going about it. So all of these tectonic shifts and movements, um, it's going to feel dreadful and terrible. It's going to deliver some pretty harrowing sights and images, but that's because of how we maybe choose to perceive it. So don't look at it as what is happening. Look at it as a path to something better, to growth, growing pains. And that's what I meant when I said Pluto and Aquarius wants me to kind of inject it into this reading, because that's what it's going that's very Pluto and Aquarius combined with North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo type of reading, type of read. Okay. What else? Let's do little bites of by the sign messages. So let's start with hello, Sean Paul Kura. Hey there, I'm joining in from Eugene, Oregon. Cool, welcome. I hear it's very lovely there. Okay. The card that came out is the Hangman, but I didn't focus on a specific sign. I was just shuffling and chatting with you guys. So and the Hangman symbolizes Pisces as well. So, but it's kind of Aries. Let's start with the signs properly. The first sign of the zodiac, Aries, and then we'll finish with Pisces. I'm not going to do a few because this is in relation to astrology, where it falls in your house. So Aries, North Node is going to be in your 12th house, South Node in your 6th house. So a message for Aries for the next 18 months. So it's going to be like probably more on a spiritual level, but we'll see what the cards bring. Message for Aries for the North Node in Pisces, please. Wheel of Fortune, major changes. I don't think in 6 months. Interesting. I was about to say 18 months, but it came out 6 months. So let's go with it. 6 to 18 months. I think your life is going to be completely different than what you've thought they're going to be. Like the trajectory is going to completely shift. Things are going to be turned upside down. And you'll find yourself in literally a different reality, or a very changing one. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles, so it's a very positive one. It's one that is very much in alignment with your heritage. Interesting. And with your prospects. Okay. I see family. I see family. I see property. You might be moving into your home or building a home. I can't ignore, I mean, both of them are 10. The Wheel of Fortune is 10, and 10 of Pentacles obviously is 10. But here in the Wheel of Fortune, you have Yehovah, right? Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, it's Hebrew, so Jehovah. And Torah, right? The Torah. the original Hebrew Bible. And then here, the Ten of Pentacles is associated with the tree of life and the 10 Sfirot. So Keter, Chofma, Binah, Chesed, Malchut, Tiferet, Hod, Netzach, Yesod. I might be confusing. I might be confused. Never mind. I don't actually have to name all of them. But Yesod, Malchut. I think I got them right, but it doesn't really matter. So there's something in land. The camera is reversed, it's not mirroring, so every time I want to point on one card, I point on the other. Sorry. So land is coming through, heritage, legacy, family. And the Ten of Pentacles does symbolizes Virgo, but it's an incredibly positive card, one of the most positive cards in the deck. And the Wheel of Fortune is also very fortunate, especially in combination with Ten of Pentacles. And so this is where the South Node in Virgo kicks in your 6th house, your day-to-day life, but kind of works on dropping, anything that is not good for your day-to-day and kind of physically building. Because the 6th house, coincidentally, is the house that is ruled by Virgo. You have it naturally there in your chart. And the 12th house is naturally ruled by Pisces, and you have it there in your chart. Because your chart aligns with the cosmic chart, because you're the first sign of the zodiac. So this is going to be very intense for you guys. Like major ending and major room is made in order to build this. But I'm picking up that some of you will be writing a book. That just came through. Oh, they have books here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, but I've never actually used it as part of the reading. So, but this time I see you really writing a book. Bottom of the deck, Hierophant. It's to do with your wisdom. It's to do with your knowledge. It's to do with your connection to source. It's to do with integrating the energies of Pisces and Virgo. Beautiful. Okay, I can keep going, but then this reading will take forever. So let's continue. Taurus. North Node in Pisces moves into your 11th house. South Node in Virgo will be in your 5th house. Now I'm going by the rising sign, but it can apply to your sun and moon for different aspects in your life. Here you are, 6 of Pentacles, being all generous. North Node in your 11th house. I see you helping society and contributing to society. The Devil, okay. A lot of earth is coming through for you. Money. Oh, this is interesting. A lot of you are going to make a lot of money in this energy. You do have Pluto in your 10th house, so it can really raise your status. So it could happen in a way that is financial. But it's almost like you're committing yourself to helping a group or a society or a people. But then you become really entangled in it, like overly involved kind of thing, and finding it hard to separate you and them. Be careful of giving for the sake of how it makes you feel about yourself. I mean, it's natural. When we give and make someone happy, we feel good about it. There's nothing wrong with it. That's totally natural and it's totally great. It's not a matter of give and take or a business transaction. It's a matter of balance. and equilibrium, emotional equilibrium. You give, you receive. It's just how it is. You can't feel guilty for feeling good about giving. It's just a matter of not showing it off, or not being, codependent on it, or not um, doing it solely for yourself and for how you're perceived, and actually doing it for the person in front of you. So practice listening when you're helping someone or helping people. Make sure that that's what they want and need. And all you have to do is ask. People will tell you. Most people, anyway. But there's something else here, Taurus. South Node in Virgo. I mean, this could be an affair or romance of some sort. Queen of Swords. How interesting. Sorry, I need some sugar. What is she saying? I need to see more. Okay. Queen of Swords followed by the Ace of Swords. Okay. A plan. No. A belief. A vision that is unapologetic. It has to do with who you are in your rawest, truest nature. The devil is not evil. I mean, sometimes in a reading when it comes up, it can represent that, but it's mostly pan, the absolute natural forces, raw, unapologetic, true sense of self, you want to call it, or our nature. It can also be sexuality. It can also be very strong passion. But the thing is, it's combined here with the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords. I think there's some sort of understanding of yourself fully, unapologetically, that you're finally coming to terms with. And you're owning it. You're owning who you are. You're not apologizing for it. You're not trying to belittle yourself. You're not going with people who make you feel bad about existing. um, and you're like, the way I am, whatever it's perceived, has been very given to people, has been very helpful to people, have been very abundant and fruitful and positive, and had very positive influence. So how can it be bad, right? If that's bad, then I don't want to be good, kind of thing. And it's almost like you come to terms with it, and you're like, yeah. And when you acknowledge the beauty in you, and you don't judge yourself, your environment doesn't judge you anymore. Sometimes our environment judging us is a reflection of us judging ourselves, even subconsciously. So once that clicks for you, you're like, I'm actually pretty cool the way I am. And then things start to change in accordance. Like things just kind of flow better and make more sense. And the choices that you make, because they're more in alignment with who you and what you are, they just they work. They happen. They follow through. This is a time where anything that is inauthentic and not in alignment with you is not going to succeed. Jobs, relationships, affairs, nothing. If it doesn't truly make your heart sing, it's just you're not gonna get that job. You're not gonna get that apartment. You're not gonna get that relationship. You're not gonna get anything that has to do with compromise. So just go all the way, you know? Okay, Gemini. You have the North Node in your 10th house and the South Node in your 4th house. Some of you will be moving. Some of you will be returning to somewhere that you're from. Queen of Pentacles to confirm what I just said. And Eight of Wands to confirm what I just said. The cards are literally repeating what I just said. I see you having a home, property, but also traveling a lot, maybe for work. Or maybe you work from home. Yeah, you want to start working from home in a way that is kind of unconventional. Judgment and Nine of Wands. Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands. You currently have a plan. It's going to work out. It's going to be okay, but then it's going to take a turn. It's not going to be as long lasting as you think or plan on it. And that's okay. That's cool because there's something bigger at play. And what you're working on now is part of that. So it's a step on the path. So it's not something wrong. You want to continue doing that. If it's in alignment with what I just said. If it's an agreement with me, with meaning with the if this is your reading, then take it as such. I'm gonna hear some news. I think some of you are going to receive property. You're just gonna receive it. It could be inheritance, could be, I don't know, like lottery. You might be hesitant because it might require travel to an unfamiliar territory. Hello, Guardian. Welcome. Okay. That sounds cool. Good luck, Pisces. I might make more in-depth reading for all the signs, but like separate videos, you know, for North Node and Pisces, how like a more in-depth reading. Let this be a taste. And also in case I don't, so you have this. Cancer. And keep in mind, you can always book a private consultation session with me. A phone session, video sessions, link is below. Okay. Cancer. North Node in Pisces is going to be in your 9th house. South Node in Virgo is going to be in your 3rd house. Faith and the way you speak to yourself and to others. Ace of Cups. You're guided to a more to enact the pure way that you look at life. To really let that sink and be part of your system, your mechanism. Not just sometimes when you're in the mood or you're doing well. Queen of Swords. Yeah, exactly what I just said. This is so funny. Your communication is guided to still be truthful and accurate and profound and fact-based, but coming from a place of compassion and love. You have some sort of an idea, a vision that you'll start speaking about and sharing with the world. The Lovers. So I can't, when I have the Ace of Cups and the Lovers in one reading, there's love also here. Are you writing about love? Are you becoming a a matchmaker? That's cool. Are you opening a dating app? Are you going on a dating app and meeting the one? Ooh, if you were wondering, I have no idea how it relates to North Node and Pisces in your ninth house, but whatever. Maybe you have other placements that make it make sense. But well, the South Node in Virgo, third house, communication. Yeah, it actually does make sense. Never mind. Sits well in my head now. Um, you are going to bring together people that are separated. So you yourself are going to come together with someone you've been separated from, and it's going to inspire, it's very specific, and it's going to inspire you to help others find each other after separation or reunite. Maybe people who got separated by interesting conditions or, you know, all kinds of terrible situations can happen where people don't want to be separated and they're forced separation, right? So you're going to bring them together. It's almost like you're like, this is my spiritual mission now. Bring back together people who were forced separation. That's very noble, actually. Um, it's almost like a mission, a real spiritual mission. Cancer, you're on a mission. I like that. It makes sense. North Node in your ninth house. Travel, belief system, inspiring people, teaching truth. Maybe you're lecturing, maybe you're writing. Um, but this will be applicable to you yourself as well in your day-to-day life. Okay. Leo. Message for Leo for North Node and Pisces. It's going to be in your 8th house, and the South Node in Virgo is going to be in your 2nd house. Some of you are, if you're not married already, you're going to meet a spouse that is very wealthy. Between having Pluto in your 7th house and then the North Node now coming into Pisces, the South Node in your 2nd house, like you're guided more to have money and resources from someone else. Yeah, so be a wealthy spouse. I'm that reader. Well, if it's true, it's true. Not everybody, but it's definitely reading it like that. It's definitely can be read like that. I mean, okay, Ace of Cups again. I love this. Knight of Swords and Ace of Cups. Yeah, someone is coming in fast and clear, and they know that what they want, and they want you. So fitting for Leo. Just sit under the shade of a tree and have this person come to you. Like you're literally your knight. Your knight in shining armor. This is someone very fierce, very powerful. They know what they want and they get it, but not like in an abrasive way. You like it. It's like it works with you. 4 of Wands, and you're definitely coming together. There's a union here. Some of you are already spoken for, and there might be a out of marriage or out of relationship affair that leads to that. Oof, drama. Okay, I'm not meddling. I'm not meddling in that. Too many cards, too many cards, too many cards. It's gonna get messy. 3 of Pentacles. Yeah. I see renovations of a home. Um, I think you're winning something. I think it's like, I don't know if you're like receiving like coupon is not the word, but like you somehow won something, lottery of some sort. Who else had that? But you're gonna have to put in the effort and put in the work. It will be a fixer upper. But you'll do it with this person. And I see it getting a little bit soap opera-y. Yeah, someone is going to not be happy about this. I think you'll be switching relationships in the next 18 months, and I think it's going to be very interesting. Good luck, Leo. Virgo. Oh, my Virgo. How are you guys doing? You're being so quiet. I wanna read you and hear you. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Sean Paul. Oh, you're a Leo rising, Virgo sun, Cancer moon. Oh, came here just in time. Okay. My collective of Virgo seekers, please. North Node in Pisces. And the South Node in your sign. This is where you're going to have to surrender, Virgo, and you are not going to like it. But, okay, you will not going to like it at times, and then you will like it at times, right? It's going to vary. Four of Wands. North Node in Pisces, your seventh house of relationships. Now, I know it's a sign of other stuff as well, but it's just because it's also Pisces and because Saturn is there, it really screams relationship, like romantic relationship. Because Saturn rules your fifth house too of romance and children. So it's like if you're not involved and if you don't have kids, I think this is the next 18 months are definitely is a big word, but very likely are going to bring that about. If you're already in a relationship, if you already are involved, it can, expand it and make it even bigger and better. Or if you're in a relationship that is not in alignment with you anymore, it might bring about the ending. If you have any facade of a sense of self that is not entirely authentic anymore, that you're just holding on from a place of habit, it will be let go of, whether you like it or not. Kicking and screaming or happy and cheerful. Three of Cups. Oh, lots of celebrations. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to be celebrated in the next 8. Celebrated and celebrating. You might be celebrated yourself. In the next 18 months, I feel like your natural talents are going to come to the forefront, who you are by nature. Much less of things that you do just because you have to, or it's because it's the responsible thing or smart thing. You'll just be like, Spirit is going to really put an emphasis on what truly brings you joy and what are you really, really good at. And that's the only thing it will kind of allow you to do. And you'll be so happy doing it. It will do so well. So you'll be celebrated for it. But I see also celebrating milestones. I don't know if it's an engagement or a wedding or a birth of a child. Could be all three because we're talking about 18 months, right? So for some of you, it's going to be the whole package. Okay. King of Wands. Yeah, hello. This is someone that is going to bring a lot of fun and warmth and confidence and a sense of safety and belonging to your life. And it's going to be lighthearted and fun, not heavy and sticky, and not controlling. It's going to be from a place of like, okay, what what works best? Like there's going to be very heart-based understanding and communication. Um, Bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles. This could be you. So I do see the two of you really heading in a very positive direction. It seems like he or she, they're gonna have your back, kind of thing. They're gonna support you literally in every endeavor you wanna try. They're gonna be like your greatest cheerleader, and they have the energy and the resources to be able to contain any fluctuations, any moods, um, any complexity, not in a way that if you're abusive to them, then no, I'm not talking about that. But like if you're just like a really cool, complex person, then they're able to contain it. They don't get confused easy. Um, Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. Yeah, I think I see pregnancy for a lot of you. Okay. See the birth of a child or an adoption. Some of you I'm hearing adoption. Okay, that's possible. So if you've been considering that, that could come to that can happen. I actually see between March, even actually between March to July, between Pisces season to Cancer season, most emphasis on April and May. It's very soon. I don't see it like in a year from now. I see it in the next 6 months. A lot of things here are coming through for the next 6 months. Good luck, Virgo. That's really, really nice. Great readings so far. Okay, Libra. Magician. Okay. You're going to have the North Node in your 6th house, reminding you that you're a magician. And South Node in the 12th house. The end of the delusion that you can't. Yes, you can. Saturn really kind of gives you the tools and makes you work hard even when you don't know what the results would be. But then the North Node kind of starts giving you that vision and showing you where all the hard work that Saturn has put you through, how it's going to come to turn, how it's going to play out and manifest. So if you've been working really hard and things have been confusing and you can see how it's going to unfold, now that the North Node entered Pisces as well, it's going to kind of show you, right? Libra, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. Take out your toolbox and play. Like really, you can create Three of Pentacles. You can build something magnificent that is super unique, has your special blueprint, super creative, out of the box, very successful. Bring people together, express your ideas. You have what it takes. You have the potential. You just need to play it out. Bottom of the deck, the Empress. There's incredible amount of creativity and beauty and harmony. You might be building a home. You might be renovating. You might be studying architecture. You might be designing. You'll make money from it. Those are cards that you make money with these cards. You're gonna love hearing what I'm about to say. Dress the part. Enjoy. Be lighthearted. Like this, it's like Libra's wet dream to hear everything I'm saying right now. Just Don't worry too much about balance and justice and hard work. You've been working so hard. It's time for you to express the harmonious Venusian aspect of you and not just the cold metal scale, which was important and great, but it's time for you to kind of expand it. Some of you are becoming a parent. Some of you are moving in with your mom, okay? Or with an older woman. Or maybe an older woman, like a mother figure or a grandma figure or someone like that, is choosing to invest in you and your idea and your creativity, and they kind of believe in you, and they're like, here, have that as jump start. Eight of Pentacles. I see you work. Yeah, well, sixth house, day to day and work, and it's the Virgo house, and you have Pisces there, right? So your chart is opposite. So I think it's gonna actually, if you're wise and have been in the realm of consciousness for a while, I think it can work beautifully, like as an integrated energy of Pisces and Virgo, both in your sixth and 12th house, where you just kind of manage to bring together also the north and south node energy and meet in the Ha in the center, and just work hard on your vision, on your creativity, one step at a time. I think at one point, if you're working with other people, at one point you might go solo and choose to venture off, your own way. Cool, good luck. Next is Scorpio. Hey, Scorp. What's up? You're going to have North Node and Pisces in your fifth house. Romance, children, creativity, heart. You're going to be guided to really focus on your heart. Very interesting that Scorpio risings have Pisces in their fifth house. You'd think they'd be all up into self-loving themselves, but you guys are some of the most harshest of the signs on yourself. You can be very, 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 very hard on yourself. So the North Node in Pisces is going to remind you how sweet and tender and cute you are on the inside, and you're not so tough, and to kind of remind you to not focus on obsession outside of you and call it love. Rather, focus the Piscean energy on self-love and self-healing and just seeing your side of the picture and what it is that you can do to improve and loving yourself through it with no judgment. That's what the North Node in Pisces in your fifth house is going to bring up. Do we need the cards? Let's see what the cards say. Four of Pentacles, you're like, nope. It's going to come from outside of me. I need the person to love me. The North Node, if you don't love yourself, it's not going to bring you someone to love you. It's going to be very, very, it's going to reflect to you how harsh you are on yourself and be like, you like that? Oh, you don't like that? Then why do you do that to yourself? And it's going to encourage you to be kinder to yourself and allow people to go through their process and their journey and come to you when they're ready, if they're ready. And if you have children, you brought them to this world, you're responsible for them, but you don't own them per se. You have ownership when it comes to the responsibility of love and care, yes, but they get to be who they are. Ace of Swords. Yeah, there's going to be like a breakthrough, a very serious breakthrough from a place that has been feeling very stuck and very hardworking, and maybe some coldness has been felt. But now your heart is kind of waking up and reminding you that you're there and how important it is, and it's going to get you to pay it attention whether you like it or not. Page of Swords. So I recommend listening to it and not belittling it, and not be like, oh, It's fine. I don't need self-care. Oh, I don't need self-love. Oh, I don't need all these things. I'm good. I'm great. You are good. You are great, but you do need all these things. So I see you kind of going back and forth with it. Um, Going back and forth with it. The cards are funny today. You have a clear direction, a clear idea of where you want to go to. You need to let go of some really nasty friends, South Node in your 11th house, and environments that are not conducive to you, who, sweet talk you, tell you what you want to hear, but it's not real. And you know it, you're very instinctual, right? So it's very hard to lie to you. So why do you, it's like you want to believe them. That's the problem. But you have a clear understanding of the truth. Go with it. Stop doubting yourself and be good to you by not letting people who are not good to you be around you. Next is Saggy. Message for Sagittarius. North Node in Pisces. North Node is going to be in your fourth house. South Node is in your 10th house. Home, legacy, belonging, who you are to your core, like your DNA, your source. Your ancestors, the soil that you came from. Sagittarius. Four of Pentacles, just like Scorpio. So if you skipped here, watch Scorpio. Oh, if anyone is in the mood to timestamp the reading, thank you. Three of Wands. It's like, there's something else out there for you that you need to go to. It could be a return. Okay, for some of you, it's a return to something. But you're really, really struggling letting go what you have right now in order to head out in that direction, which is understood, no judgment, but just reading what I'm seeing. I think the call is going to be stronger than your righteous indignation. Some of you are called back home. Sagittarius, North Node, Pisces, please. Queen of Swords that have been popping up quite a lot. You're going to get a call, an email, a message, a request, a conversation. Could be a family member being like, you need to come back home. Or if it's not that, then it's like, this is your direction. This is your vision. Why are you and you know it. You know it, right? So what's going on? What are you holding on to? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? King of Cups. This could be parents. I think some of you, it's literally parents or family member, or it's a partnership of some sort. Or people that you work with or worked with or want you to work with them. But it's like, sorry, let me make better lighting for us. No, it's not better. Yeah. You can hear me. You can hear me, right? Yeah, it's going back. It's something with the roots. Something with the roots is calling you. It's very emotional. It's very, you've been gone too long. I'm hearing someone telling me, I've missed you, or are you sure that's where you want to be? And the North Node in your fourth house in Pisces is going to ask you that, South Node in Virgo in your 10th house, it's going to break down some illusion of a status, of how society perceives you or how you've been perceiving yourself to be in the world, that you're about to break out of or let go of, or just finalize. And it's a surprise that is not such a surprise. Like in retrospect, you'll be like, yeah, it wasn't so surprising. It wasn't so shocking. Yeah, I should have seen it coming or something like that. Or it was there all along. I just needed to discover it. I knew it deep down, kind of thing. Good luck. Capricorn. We have 3 more signs: Cappy, Aquarius, and Pisces. So, Cappy, you guys are going to have your North Node in your 3rd house. Pisces, South Node in your 9th house. Hope you're doing well. Bring it back to the closer circles. Okay. We get that there's the ideas and the visions and the ideals. How does it play out in your environment, in your neighborhood, in your close communication with the people in your life? It's one thing to, ideas are one thing, but can you practice them in reality, right? An idea that isn't practiced, it's just an idea. You can give yourself the fluffy pat on the shoulder of, oh, I have these great ideas, but do you actually live by them, right? That's the question. How can you live by your ideas? How well can you live by them? And if you can't, are they true? Are they authentic? Do you really believe in them? All right, so that will bring that up, Cappy. So we have, okay, 5 of Cups, 4 of Swords, Knight of Wands, 6 of Swords. Something is just going to not work out the way you want it to. You've been trying to hold on to it for a while, and then it's ending, and you're taking your time to kind of think about it and to process it and to see what's next. But the thing is, you already know what's next. You're just trying to hold on onto the illusion of control, where you think you can change things, but you know you can't change things. So there's no real point in thinking about it or processing it. But if you need to take that time, take that time. But as soon as you snap out of it, you'll be on the go. I see you guys moving somewhere, changing something. Could be a short, could be a trip by car, by train. It's not like across the sea, but it is maybe across, maybe if you're in the US, maybe you're moving a state, right? Something along those lines. There's a big change that you feel like you need to make, because new energy needs to come to your day-to-day life, to your environment, to your neighborhood. I see you changing a neighborhood, possibly. There might be a family member that will come with an idea that will kind of break out some rot, break you out of a rot of some sort, and you're just gonna say yes. You're just gonna go with their crazy idea, and it's gonna lead you to an adventure. And I see you really letting go of belief systems that no longer serve you, that are just not conducive to your future. Um, and allowing yourself to be a beginner's mind, and reading more about things that you thought you knew a lot about, but now you realize that you were looking at things from a philosophical, broader perspective, but you didn't really look at the details. You judged a book by its cover and gave yourself a pat on the shoulder of being virtuous, but you didn't really dive deep into the nitty-gritty details, the actual intellectual learning of what is, right? The facts, the what's going on in the surface, in the field. Um, there's the ideal and there's the actual. So that's, and maybe you'll be traveling somewhere to see for yourself. Could be. So that's kind of cool and expansive. Good for you, Capricorn. Proud of you. And good luck. Okay, who's next? Aquarius. Message for Aquarius. The North Node in Pisces, which will be in your second house, making the South Node in Virgo in your 8th house. Hierophant, you also have Pluto in your sign. I like this. The word that comes to mind, now Queen of Pentacles, is accountability, reliability. You're making a connection with someone, or teaming up, working with someone who's, on one hand, they're idealistic, but they also like really live by their ideals, and they're very practical, and it's like they actually know what they're talking about. And it's a very benevolent collaboration, connection, whatever the case may be. Friendship, perhaps. With some of you, it could be romance in a relationship, but there's something very, very complex about it. I don't know. There's something. The essence of your connection is not complicated at all. There's something very beautiful about it, and very pure, and very genuine, and very strong, and very lasting. And I forget the word, but something to do with the circumstances around it are a little bit complicated. But just ignore it. Let things collapse around you, and keep this connection, whatever this is, because this can also bring you financial improvement. So this could be work situation, or finances. Maybe you're starting your own business with someone, collaborating with someone. It's going to be very fruitful. There is some sort of an establishment here that you're a part of, or that you're creating together, or that you're meeting them there and then kind of venturing off on your own thing. This is someone that gives you very good sound advice. Like, they see things very clearly, and they're very genuine with their intention. They don't have any agenda. So they're just saying things in simplicity as they are. They're not trying to sway you. They just genuinely care about your well-being, and they're being very, very honest and very down to earth and practical. And some of you are becoming a consultant, starting to make money from consultation. Could be spiritual, could be religious. Maybe you're opening a center, or just doing one-on-ones, or seminars, or retreats. And you're going to really bring forth your inner, your wisdom, your knowledge. Some of you, it's medicinal or plant-based. Some of you, it's like homeopathy, occult knowledge, something medical, but also spiritual. I'm picking up. So for some of you, it's shamanic, maybe like shamanic drum circles, something along those. Very interesting. Aquarius, beautiful. It's a lot of creation, a lot of it's a very industrial energy. You're building things with your hands, with your vision, with your communication. You're really getting ideas to this, getting it off the ground, kind of thing. And you have cooperation, and people like it's kind of like build it and they will come kind of energy. I really like this. And some of you are making a really smart investment to do with something that you believe in, like a to do with your set of values or ideals. Um, some of you are opening a nonprofit or a charity, but or there's something to do with building and construction, but also permits. I don't know. Okay, this is getting a lot is coming through. Um, I see a very lasting friendship coming from this, or maybe it's coming from the lasting friendship. Like it's like unbreakable, really, really unbreakable. Some of you are working with animals, some of you is like being a veterinarian or therapeutic horsemanship, things along those lines. Um, yeah, looking really, really good. So good luck with that. You're kind of moving away from the dark aspects of magic and more to the healing, light aspects of magic. Some of you are making a transition within the occult world. So that's interesting. Hi, Amber. Welcome. Okay, Aquarius. And now, last but not least, Pisces. This is putting you on the spot. North node in your sign, south node in your seventh house across from you, below you. Message for Pisces, please, for the North node being in Pisces in their first house. How exciting. You're a Pisces Aquarius moon, huh? Perfect timing. Pisces, North node in Pisces. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Ten of Wands. Two of Cups. Did I not say that people who have Pisces or Virgo on their first, seventh house axis are gonna like, it's love time? Knight of Swords. Okay. Ten of Wands, Two of Cups, Knight of Swords. I see you dropping so much load. Some of you are breaking up with someone that has been like surface level perfect, like not surface, like checklist, seemingly like the perfect partner, but it hasn't been making you happy. It's been heavy, it's been burdening, it's been demanding. You care about them, but you're starting to realize it's not enough. And some of you are just like out of the blue, you wake up in the morning like, I'm done. After giving it another chance and another chance and another chance. Ooh. Four of Cups and Five of Swords. Ugh. Okay. You really need, okay, this is gonna be, okay, this energy is not gonna take it easy on you. Pisces is gonna be very demanding of you. It's gonna demand you to cut the bullshit, to cut the sitting on the fence, the waiting, the imposed insecurity and self-doubts that are like fake humility. No one cares. They're not thinking you're a saint. They don't, if they have something to say, they're going to say it either way, whether you play the saint or not, whether you act humble or not. It's like, who are you? What do you want? What do you love? What are you passionate about? Go for it. Stop pretending to apologize. You're not really actually apologetic. Sometimes you are when it's genuine, but usually you have your own, way of looking at things and going through the world, and it's like, own it. Own it. It's not inspiring. And you're an inspiring sign and a very creative, magical sign. Let's pull a couple more cards just because, yeah. Okay, great. Three of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles. You're coming out of it slowly but surely. Someone might give you a good kick in the booty. Maybe it's me, right now. You have so much skill and so much experience and so much knowledge. Show it, build it, express it. Stop depriving the world of the gifts that were given to you when you were born, that you came here meant to enact these gifts and to contribute to the world with. But no one wants to hear it. But stop. They need to hear it. They need to listen to it. They need to follow. They don't want to hear it. They'll turn their back, or they'll say stop. But if they're asking if they're asking you to do something or to help with something or your advice or your opinion, why are you like, oh, don't ask me. I don't know. But you do know. I mean, if you don't know, don't talk. Don't. I'm not trying to inspire you to yatter on things you know nothing of. But if you do know, if you have the knowledge, if you have the skill, utilize it and contribute when asked or when a situation arises. And also start initiating, start applying, start sending resumes, start thinking what it is that you want to build. You're thinking too small. Some of you had someone maybe really made you feel insecure about yourself, has been very harsh with you. Now, this is getting a bit of a different turn to this reading. There's another layer to this. Some of you have been with someone who has been very harsh on you and very judgmental and very cruel even sometimes, and they've brought you to your knees. And this is when this fuckery ends. It's not South Node in your seventh house is not going to be forgiven about that. It's going to show you everything that you refused to see. It's going to be very, blunt and in your face, and you can no longer make excuses for them. You can no longer belittle yourself to explain why it is that they're like that with me because, well, I'm this and that, like this. It's good to take accountability and it's good to self-reflect. It's wonderful and it's important, but to a certain degree, like not if you're not wrong. If you're saying 1 + 1 is 2 and they're saying 1 + 1 is 7, don't betray math to appear humble. The truth matters. If it comes from someone else, support them. If it comes from you, support yourself. Be like, no, bitch, 1 + 1 = 2. We're not in a different dimension. Over there, we'll have a different conversation. Whatever, whatever. It's just an example. But also, you know yourself. Stop letting people tell you who and what you are, what you think, how you feel, and correct you about your own heart and your own mind and your own spirit. What the F? You know how you feel. They're telling you they view themselves as wise and smart at your expense, but they're actually projecting their bullshit onto you. No, I'm just reading between the lines of the things you don't say because I can read you so well. No, they're projecting themselves onto you and then beautifying it and excusing it. It's gaslighting and it's narcissistic. If you're doing it to someone else, it will be stopped. If they're doing this to you, it will be stopped with awareness. That's awesome, Gareth. Good luck. UK Wales. That's awesome. Wales. UK Wales. Cool. Good luck with your studies. Yeah, so Pisces, enough with the BS. Enough playing games. What is this? The North Node is going to show you what you have been doing to yourself. Some of you have been really, really abusing yourself and belittling yourself and believing other people's lies about you. If you lied a lot when you were a kid, you weren't a lying kid. All kids lie. It's part of the development of the brain. That's how we develop imagination and, and strategy. Kids lie for different reasons. But maybe you had a parent who was very, very judgmental and had very little knowledge about, child development and how things work, and they kept referring to you as a liar and I'm terrible. And then you grew up thinking, oh my God, I was a liar. I'm a liar. No, you were just a kid. You're not a liar. You never were a liar. You were a kid and you were going through the natural evolutionary process of you being a child. And that can apply to many things. That's just an example. But when you realize that what you were told about yourself, that you lived your life based on that and treated yourself based on that and made decision based on that, it crumbles. That delusion crumbles because the foundation is false. If you were never a deceitful child, there's nothing to fix about you when it comes to lies and deceit. How much is spared from you when it comes to guilt, self-shame, working on something when you're wasting your time? You're fine. Work on other things that do need improvement. I'm not saying you're perfect, although of course you're perfect. You're my seekers. But I love you guys so much. I don't have words to describe just how much I love you guys. Stay magic. Stay true. I love you. Oh, and check out the description box and book a session if you want to, and study tarot if you want to. It's all there.